All right, hi again, everybody. Yep, you see this was the last idea project, the last one and the first one. But anyway, on to the next exercise. So realizing how large this piece of paper is, I am going to decide to go a little smaller for making the book idea at the end, compiling some drawings, having a simple bookbinding technique, if you may, putting some drawings together in a book. But I set this up because I kind of want to do some shading exercises or just suggest ways of how to just mess around, and I mean, shading to me just is able to take drawings to another level, creating depth, perception, form, shape, and all that. So anyway, I've created this very interesting way of holding my phone camera. So bear with me while I get situated here. And I hope that this is very visible. So there's this one technique called the tornado, or at least that's what my art teacher in high school called it. And it's literally just doing a tornado, right? But the goal is to go from hard, which is the dark, to the light, right? So you can just do more pressure and lighten up and come lower. You can go back, bring it down, go back and bring it down. And I mean, we would just sit around and do this forever, just kind of getting that feeling of how you can make shading smooth. And this is when you want to be really realistic and just the perfection aspect. But when I'm sketching and stuff and developing an idea, I don't worry about that so much. So I just kind of mess around. You can do lines, cross hatching. There's the pointillism, but that's really time consuming. You can sit there forever. That's kind of fun, more fun with a pen, I think. But, it's like that same concept of going lighter and less to create shadow. This is just going out and going lighter with the lines, with the crosshatch. So those are definitely different things you can mess around when you're drawing an object and creating different ways of shading. So, I'm just kind of set up a few things. You got this spiral, and you can play around with the shadow and how that can create shape from the inside out in the layers, like a shell. We'll just make it a shell. How about let's just make this a shell? So you can just practice, again, when you're just messing around, I think just being loose and relaxed is great. When I'm finishing a job, finishing a drawing, I definitely get a little bit more in control and become more of the perfectionist. But yeah, so if this was the outside of the shell, you can kind of do this a little bit too to create some form. And then thinking about 3D space, right, with this box, you can kind of go around there. This is where I think the lines can look really cool. The cross hatching, right? So the farther away, sometimes you can think is darker as well, whereas the shadow would get. I think you can get the idea of this. So again, pick an object, draw a chair, Draw something that you see in your house and then mess around with shading aspects. And again, this doesn't have to be about perfection, but just trying to convey shape and depth, I think, is what I'm trying to get after. Or how about this? Just like, what does this look like to you? A rope, like a thick rope. And then you think about those layers where it's how like it's wrapped around the fiber. And then how about this, going from a center out? So anyway, yeah, just mess around. Again, this is just more about an exercise of technique. This isn't about doing a drawing, but I think this could help apply to other drawings and finished projects, and just kind of feeling a little bit more, I don't know, that you can make something look how you want. So yeah, just mess around. I would say pick objects out in your house and try to draw things. I mean, geez, just like, how about an apple? How would you... So that's what's great about sketching. It can be messy and still look good. So anyway, have fun, and we'll see you next time.